So this is what I think everybody needs to do, because this was my really defining moment. The defining moment was when I actually created a mission statement.
Those different things, we can pivot, we can change, and help accredited investors. I appreciate that.
Everybody should do this. You should do this. But like, my clarity came, and now I say it over and over again out loud, and it forces the movement in the positive direction. But really, the best investment for anybody is to invest in themselves first.
Failures bring successes. Failures really help us to grow. That's how it is. Vinney and Beau show, we have been coming live to you. Not live, we record a week early now, edit, and then we come out to you. Again, this is a show we've been doing, Beau, for how long? 2.5 years or something?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years, I think, maybe 3 years.
Wow. And again, we come out, we talk what's on our mind, what's happening in our businesses, and how we are tweaking, turning, looking the market, looking real estate market and business ownership, how to build really wealth. That's what it is. How to accumulate, leave legacy, all those things. So please join us every Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon. How are you, Beau, brother?
Doing well. Just somebody right before I got on with you had, I don't know how they found me, probably through my videos, and he's calling frantic because he's doing a $5 million project. And so anyways, I think I can help him. But that's the thing. People, they'll call around banks and nobody will set them straight. I just give people a straight, okay, this is what you're trying to do. Okay, with this, let's go. Like, he's a successful dentist and he's buying a franchise restaurant and he couldn't find space. So he's building the building now, and he had a bunch of questions. It's okay. Now I find that I'm getting so good at doing that because I've done it so many times. It's just like, okay, like, I have to almost tell people to just shut up and let me ask questions, because I can just boom, boom, because people want to tell you the whole story. And I'm like, let me just ask questions and I'll get you what you're looking for quicker.
You are the best loan giver doctor. I'm telling you, man. You are the loan. What should I say? I mean,
I'm a PhD. I'm the doctor of.
business finance, doctor of business finance, and I can vouch for you because I know a few years back, 4 or 5 years back, I needed 8.5 million in 15 days. In 5 days. Anybody listening to us or watching us, listen to this one. This man, Beau, my good friend from Bay Area, now he's in Henderson in Las Vegas area, and he got me 15 million, no, $8.5 million loan, day 1 to day 15, closed on a multifamily, 357 units, I remember, in Atlanta. Couldn't believe it. And they came as he was talking to them in the morning. They came over to Blackhawk Plaza. We had lunch. I still remember 3 people. They had already booked the flight to leave that night to go to Atlanta. And this is amazing, brother. And I didn't tell them my family and I had vacation in Japan the next week. And literally, my attorney, I gave him power of attorney, Mr. Milton Colgrove. He closed the deal for me. I signed the papers and everything. And we were vacationing in Japan with my family and so on. Brother, you are the right doctor. You're the PhD. The thing which I really want to stress, you figure out a way. That's a big thing. To have that mindset that everything is achievable and then somebody will finance, and there are different ways to do it.
Yeah, actually, yesterday I posted a recently closed one. And although this was a very small loan, it was very satisfying. My colleague that actually mentored me in the franchise consulting space, she had brought in her clients, and the lender basically, or it's this group specializes in financing franchises. They're like a master broker. They flat out said, no, you don't have enough liquidity. We're not going to do the loan. The lady I work with was going to lose a $25,000 commission that she's worked really hard on, and it was first time aspiring entrepreneur. So I'm like, give me the deal, let me do it. Boom, freaking close it yesterday. And I love doing shit like that, because it's like, we're going to get this done. If there's a will, if there's a way to get it done, let me help you. That's the thing. And that's why I'm so passionate about the financing and the business ownership. Collectively, I've really found my calling over the last year and a half, right? Like before, I really, although I've been in the franchise business for 3 years, I really, like the last year, I wanted to really, I knew I could help so many thousands of people over the next 10 years buy businesses. And people call me every day now. And it's like, now it's like helping all these people like create legacy. We need a cash flow generating vehicle so we can then take that money and invest in different asset classes, syndications. You want to diversify your funds. You want to put some in multifamily, some in hospitality with good operators. You want to invest in other things too, right? Senior living.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. What you just said is calling. Calling is so important. How many of us are entrepreneurs, CEOs of the business? Our team members' lives and kids' education, everything is dependent on us, but we don't find our calling. That's so important to find the direction and the passion so that you could move forward.
So
And
this is
that's what you've done, brother. Yeah.
so this is what I think everybody needs to do, because this was my really defining moment. The defining moment was when I actually created a mission statement. And everybody should do this. You should do this. But like my clarity came, and now I say it over and over again out loud, and it forces the movement in the positive direction. So my mission is to help 10,000 aspiring entrepreneurs become business owners in the next 10 years. That's as simple as that. That's my mission.
Simple.
And
It has
right.
to be simple. It has to be one sentence or two at the most. Maybe possibly just one. You're so right.
So do you need to do that for your
Yeah.
investors, right? What is your thing that you're going to leave every conversation with? I want to help 20,000. I'm trying to define one, but like your real true calling is to help X amount of people. It doesn't, you don't even have to put how many, but I did for whatever reason. I want to help 1,000 high
Strong
net worth.
accredited investors, 1,000, which is a big C of accredited investors in USA. And we have had 758 so far, but make them active, make them look at the deals. You're right, Beau. I mean, having that 1,000 goal, helping building legacy, building wealth, pivoting into new market like senior living, hospitality, short-term rental. We bought marina, all those different things. We can pivot, we can change and help accredited investors. I appreciate that. So 1,000 is a good number. I don't want 2, 3, 4,000. A lot of syndicators have, but I believe in quality and so forth. The other thing is I want to help 50,000 aspiring investors who want to learn what I'm doing. So that's the other thing. 50,000 is a good number. So many people have done well in going through my courses, my academy. People pay me 100,000 now. One-on-one coaching of 40 sessions. 40 sessions. That's $2,500 a session. Not too bad, because I give them everything from the bottom of my heart, all the things they need, all the networking, every document that I've designed over the last 17 years, I give it to them on the silver platter.
So here's your mission statement. We got to revise it a little bit, but to help 1,000 accredited investors reduce tax liability, increase net worth, and protect capital for legacy wealth creation. Something like that. That's so we got to just fine tune it.
Text me that. Don't erase it. Please text me right now, because I'm going to improvise on that. That's my mission statement. Do another one for my coaching, my academy. I used to sell it for $3,000. So many hundreds of people bought it. I reduced the price down to $997, and you know what? It's the same thing, and people can just get that. Some students don't even come to my one group coaching or anything. They are crushing it just from all these video lectures, attachments, and everything. And Vinny is a promoter. Text me those two, and that'll be my mission right after this recording today that I finalize. I'm so glad you said it. I've been helping other people design their mission. That's the worst part. Many times the mentors sometimes get unfocused, and we need to look at that mission statement, print it out and put it over there next to where we shave or we dress up on the mirror. Put it also next to the bed at nighttime. We need to be looking at it. The probability of reaching our goals, our mission, and our making vision a reality is how many times we look at it during the day. Not in 1 week, not once a month, but every day.
Our mission is to assist 1,000 accredited investors in minimizing their tax liabilities, enhancing their net worth, safeguarding their capital, and establishing a legacy of wealth for their families.
You hit the nail. You hit the nail, brother.
Let me, let me say, I'm going to send this, but you can play around, do a couple more versions.
I will.
And this needs to go on your website. This needs to go everywhere. This is you. This is your mission. Because once you get a mission, you then have so much clarity. We go back to the word clarity, right, Vinney? And then everything falls in place. Your mission is what you're going to tell the world. So that you have a clear mission to help these people.
And it can be duplicated. What you just did with me, Beau, I thank you. And anybody watching or listening to us, you can do it. You can do it. And you got to do it. If you want to really grow your business, if you want to take it to the 10th level, 10x, 20x, right? We talk about all those things. And my abundance mindset show yesterday morning was on 10x, 20x with Brother Walter. The key thing is we got to get focused. Just like you said, clarity, mission statement. How about on my academy, on my students? Please give me some on that. And don't erase it. Text me because I'm on elliptical. It's so windy out there. I just definitely have to get my exercise going every single day. And I hope that's something also everybody watching or listening to us. Please get into exercise every day. Exercise of the mind. Body is a temple, I say always. We got to worship this body, this temple. Health is wealth. Health is the real wealth. As I turn 72, I'm realizing that. I mean, do these arms go up? This one goes much faster, but this one doesn't go that fast because I fell in Sicily, I think Italy. I fell in the bathroom or whatever. Anyway, but the key thing is we got to take action of our body, our soul, our mind, and our business. So what did you come out with, bro?
Hold on, I'm not done. I haven't found one I love yet.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the other thing in chat GPT or robots never take the first answer they give you. I was talking to somebody who's really good in AI. He says, oh, Brother Neil Baba. Brother Neil Baba, he's a great friend of mine, 45 minutes away. We are going to meet for lunch. I interviewed him. What a personal. What's it? He's the mad scientist of USA, data scientist.
Yeah, I'm not done with it because it needs more, but our goal is to equip students with the knowledge and skills to expertly find, assess, and secure funding through syndication, transforming them into savvy investors. That's decent.
Yeah, I think there's more on teaching them the hacks, teaching them the blunders I've made. If I can guide my students.
We are dedicated to guiding students in mastering the art of identifying potential investments, conducting thorough underwriting, and successfully raising capital through syndication. Something like that.
Hit it, brother. You hit it. Yes, that's what it is. And 50,000 people across the world is not bad because I'm reaching out in India, in Australia, of course, UK, and all because the numbers, the hacks are applicable with any real estate purchase or sale, and investors are in every country. So, biggest thing is the abundance mindset. How can you reach them, and how can you really be in there?
So I've used a lot of content, and I've gotten good at that with the YouTube show and all of the two shows I have, and then and then the putting out reels and stuff, that brings in a certain amount. Then, so that's your hub. That's your kind of like the center point. And you share the content out, and you're going to get people that reach out. Just like this guy reached out. He's, hey, boom, he must have found me on YouTube, right? Like $5 million deal. So then what can you do as entrepreneurs? What can we do to turbocharge this? Because we're always looking for ways to get more reach. So that's what I've done. Now I have another kind of secret weapon that I use through emailing, and that brings in a lot of people into my ecosystem now.
Oh,
And
wonderful. I
so,
want to find out about that after the show. And maybe we'll
yeah,
look.
this is, you got to pay me for this one. This one's so good, baby.
I'll pay.
So good.
I'll pay. I love to invest that. You know me. And not only that, I signed up for your friend. You are in his mastermind, Evan Carmichael. They have a meeting with me on Monday to really help me blow up my the YouTube account. I've got 5,100 people, subscribers. But how can we get more views? How can we get so I'm very excited about that coaching session on Monday, I think. It is coming up. But no, the secret weapon, anybody watching us, listening to us, please follow us every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. We love to talk all kind of things to grow our business and your business. Hopefully you like that.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Evan's group's pretty good.
I know you do shows every week. That's what I think is really good to build your brand. Anybody, I know it takes little effort. You got to go social media. That's where people look at you for your businesses and everything. Good website, good lead magnet, freebies, all those things, blogs, and then of course some podcast shows. Oh, by the way, we are almost ready with my third podcast now, third or fourth. I just got another one, my uh, a youth mentoring show I used to do. They just reached out to me now, and it's going to be in Apple TV and Roku and all over the place. So we are talking about it. But then, of course, the abundance mindset with Vinny Chopra live at 9 a.m. Pacific, and then we do, you and I, Vinny and Beau show. Really appreciate you, and apartment syndication and all that. But let's talk about what's on people's mind right now with Fed saying interest rate is not going to cut down the 0.25 for a few more months. Then the data came yesterday of the job market. I mean, that heated up. So what do you think? What's your crystal ball in lending business, I would say?
So I think, historically there's always times of like worry, and we get worried. And I don't like, I find myself getting worried sometimes. Oh, cash flow's tight, whatever's going on at the moment. But then I think to myself, look, let's not think about the next year so much as what's going to happen in 10 years from now, because I'm here for the long term. So what can I do today to change? So to me, the people that are successful are people that are making money in whatever their business is. So they have cash flow coming in, and then they're redeploying that money. So what I think most people need to do is increase revenue so they have more discretionary funds to deploy into investments. That's the secret of getting wealthy over time. So what can you do? And so what's one way you can look at it? You can, if you're a high paid W-2 person, you're going to want to look at, if you're paying 100, 200 grand a year in taxes, how can you minimize those taxes? So you can, certain investment opportunities in syndications, you can offset W-2. Only certain, not all of them. So know what those vehicles are, and then find a good operator in that space where you can get those tax advantages. You can do short-term rentals, and that's active business. You can do cost segregation on that, and you can write off against your earned income. I'm not a CPA. I'm not giving any legal advice. Side note, but just look into this. Call a CPA. So the first thing you can do is slash or minimize your taxes through some sort of business ownership or tax strategy. If you don't have a tax strategist and you're making money, you're foolish, because you should, because it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep, because that's going to increase. If you made 500 grand a year in your W-2, you're getting taxed at the highest rate. You're paying 150 grand a year in taxes. What can you do today to go minimize that? You can start a business, and you can offset that with Section 179 and bonus depreciation. You can invest in certain asset classes. You need to know that kind of stuff. And you also need to know, okay, what other cash flow, what can I do so I don't need to go do 500, work my W-2 job and make 500 grand. Passively, I start building that up and I make 500 grand passively, because then your time becomes more valuable and you don't necessarily need that if you don't want that corporate job. So I think we have to take all these strategies. So circling back with what you stated about what's going on in my mind, what's going on in my mind is, listen, the world's crazy. We know that there's a lot of wars going on, a lot of crazy people, and it's concerning for sure.
An election year, manipulation is going on all over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's concerning for sure. But you know what? I'm just going to worry about myself and my family and what I'm going to do. And I almost want to turn the media off. And I don't, up, down, unless you're trading stocks and you got to pay attention for the short term trades. Like, I'm a long term player. So what am I doing is I'm constantly investing back into my knowledge and my learning, getting in the right mastermind groups. I'm networking with the right people. This morning early, I was talking to a franchisor. One of the companies I work with, they're like the biggest service-based franchise. They did $4 billion in revenue last year. It's a $4 billion, multi-billion dollar company. So I was talking with one of the reps, and he's just building a relationship and learning which clients I can bring. So I'm constantly figuring out how I can be more effective with my time. So like when somebody comes to me, like this guy that called me, this dentist that's buying a franchise restaurant, needs $5 million. I'm like, boom, boom. Instead of having to take 5 years to figure out the deal, I can figure it out in 5 minutes because I'm spending the time in the beginning. So we call that like multiplying. I'm doing more work in the beginning, but it pays dividends because now I can figure out your solution in 10 minutes or 1 hour versus days and weeks. And maybe I lose that deal because I can't figure that out. And so that I'm increasing my skills. So then my time becomes so much more valuable. And then my knowledge where I can just put people with the right people and make money in an efficient manner. And that's how I make more money at a rapid pace. Eventually, I want to figure out, right now, I'm still the machine that has to make it all work. But eventually, the really smart people, they make their money work for them. So they give $200,000 to us now. Vinney now has the obligation to perform and get a return for these investors.
All the work, syndication. That's that I have to really gauge and find the right deals, which a lot of other passive investors, limited partners, accredited limited partners, they can't really find time. They are ready to make a lot of money, but how to make that money grow? I think that's what we talked about. Time passes, time is flowing. We lose time every second, but at the same time, money, if it's stationary, it loses its power too. So money has to have velocity, we call it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you had 10 million bucks sitting in a bank account right now, your best bet is to try to go bring it somewhere where you can spend the least amount of time and be protected from a downside risk standpoint and get as close to 20% return as you can. You get 20% return in a year on 10 million, you're making $2 million. Like, when you get to that position, to me, that's being like an elite investor. You don't necessarily need to go do all the heavy lifting anymore because you're good. Hey, 2 million bucks. I already made my money work for me. Now I just trying to get those 20 and 30% returns. You get to that level, and then that's a beautiful thing. And then like you don't need to necessarily do anything else other than that. And then there's other people that want to grow even bigger than that, and then they're doing their
8%,
hedge funds.
even making 8% of 10 million, that's 80, is it? No, is it? Yeah, 800,000, right? 800,000. That's a good living. That's a good amount of money. I'm just thinking out loud, the spectrum, right? 7, 8, 9, 10%. I know we are doing 5 or 6C. I want to mention that with the strategy income fund, we are giving 12%. 12% cash or 10% plus equity, because we are putting our money with some big operators who need a little bit help for the rate locks and this and that, or they are doing some refinance with a HUD or whatever. So we are just giving them mezzanine, but we are right after the senior debt, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a market like now, getting a 20% return is pretty hard. I mean, as an LP, back in the day when we were an emerging market, like Yeah, like 20% was, you were seeing that. But right now, you were back to the 8 to 12% is realistic, which is still an amazing return compared to putting your money in something else. So 8 to 12% is great. Now, like for me, I'm doing more risky stuff because I need to build my wealth more right now in my 40s. Then I would take a little bit bigger risk to try to, but really the best investment for anybody is to invest in themselves first, to build their net worth. And then you get to a certain point and then it's, I'm making $2 million a year as a surgeon, and now I have a tax problem and I don't have time to invest. That's why you get into syndications and you invest as an LP. And then your job really is to spend time vetting the operator, because you don't have, that's all the time you have, is to figure out what deals to park the money in that will be protect the capital and probably give you a decent return, right? And
For
that's
sure, for sure. It's so important that we really get educated. I say that all the time. Education, there's so much free stuff on the internet, but it can mind boggle you. But it's good to join some mastermind where other successful people are talking sense. And then when you get somebody, we are not CPAs or attorneys, we are doing well because we learned the tricks of the trade and we are able to expand on those and help other people. How about mindset? I interviewed two people this week, and neuro science and neuro systems really came up a lot. We can be learning anything we want in different seminars, spending thousands of dollars. We go there and we just love to write down, take notes. We come back, we go next 2 weeks again with little bit changes in our habits or whatever. Then we go to another seminar, another meetup group. Action is the big thing. How can we take what we got and implement it?
You're so right. You're so right. Like I want to take massive action. Like some days I'm like, look, I haven't shot video in a while. I'm going to shoot 5 videos right now. Boom. And then you feel so good. And that's what I like to do. And so how do you like, I, how do you do surges of energy where you just create massive amounts of content? You create massive like campaigns. Like I'll just come up with an idea now. I'll go, I was just thinking right before I got on with you, Vinny, I'm okay. I wasn't going to do an event because I'm having a baby in April, but I'm like, no, I'm going to have an event in April. So I'm doing an event April 3rd, right? I decided to do that. I created the marketing, boom, sent out everything. Now I have 61 people already opted in. Okay. Like I could have not done that, but I'm like, no, I need to just, I made a commitment to do an event every month. I'm darn going to do a event every month. How hard is it to get on Zoom for 1 hour and teach people the 26 years of business that I've learned and share my knowledge with the world? Because I'm not following my mission statement if I'm not, because I'm going to help 10,000 people. So I did it, and now I feel good because I'm going to have over 100 people opt in at least. I'll have at least 35% show up, and then I'm going to help X amount of people buy a business, which is going to create X amount of revenue for me over and over again. And then the more content I put out there, it's an ever going snowball that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a flywheel.
It's a flywheel. It really is, brother. You said like 33% of 100. That's 33 people. And then out of that, even five people, let's just think five people end up buying at a, making of 30,000 or whatever. That's,
25.
yeah, whatever. Look at that.
Even if I had two people buy, that's $50,000, right? That's the average teacher's salary.
And you're giving them a wonderful thing to bring wealth to them. It's not that you're just making your money. Sometimes people feel commissions are worse. Nobody should make commission. You know what? I mean, I've been on commissions all my life, 47 years. The key thing is you work hard and you bring value. That's when you get paid. And that's what you're doing.
Hey, at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. I'm going to share my message. I know my message is good. I know I can help anybody that crosses my path in some way. I can help. Maybe I don't monetize it, but I'm going to help everybody that comes my way, one way or the other. And so it's my mission to get my information in front of everybody: email, social media, video, audio, podcast. If I don't do it, I'm doing a disservice to the world. And because
That's something what you just, and we've talked about it. If you are anybody watching or listening to us, if you have the right service, you're passionate about it, you know that it's a good, valid business. Why don't we show it to more? Why don't we reach more people? Why are we holding it back? I say that be bold and then share through all the different channels. Those people who will get the benefits and it gets in their mind, they'll come back to you. Those maybe it may not be good time for them. So it's always the idea of so many calls, so many demos or presentations, so many will come, so many down there. Numbers. Do we know the ratios of the numbers? That's the key thing.
I send out thousands of emails now. And you know what? Sometimes I look in and I get unsubscribes and I'm like, I used to like care that some, now I'm like, that is beautiful.
I love when
You,
people unsubscribe on my thing. I love too.
yeah,
Yes.
let them unsubscribe. Maybe they just don't want to hear the message at the moment or whatever the reason is. And that's fine. But the other groups of thousands of people want the message. And so that's the way you have to be, right? Like you have to not get offended that somebody doesn't like your what you talk about and it's maybe they're going through a different time or maybe it doesn't resonate with them, whatever it is. And so I want more unsubscribes. I want more no's. I don't care because it's going to get me to my goals and it's going to help thousands of people in the meantime. And then like when I get a nice text or somebody books a call and says, "Look, I've been watching your content all this time and you provide so much value." That's a high for me. I love that. And so that's what I'm really passionate about. I just somebody wrote a nice thing on my YouTube channel the other day and I'm like, "Man, this is good." And I shared it with somebody else and I was like, "This is why I do it." Yeah, of course I want to make lots of money, but I really
Helping people. And boy, you and I are good at also asking them, hey, how did you like the service? Did I delight you? Would you mind doing a 30 seconds little video of how you felt? And those kind of recommendations are amazing. Third party selling is the best way to sell anything. I know my investors are private people. I don't ask them to do videos and all that. But students who have given me so many different videos of how I help them. But the key thing is to really get referrals. Remember, like we talked about, 3 referrals, right? 3 referrals from every contact you make, even if you sell them something or not, why not ask them? If you enrich their life, they would love to help us out, help anybody out. So referral getting is big thing in my mind. And then of course the other one is recommendation, written recommendations and things like that. Like this morning I sent to 22 people, you were one of them too. I got 821 podcast episodes now. I'm in top 1% in USA. I didn't know that. Holy cow. And I asked then the people I know, 30 people or so, hey, could you give me more reviews? Because we don't know who's downloading, we don't know, but we could reach out to the people and I will be doing some advertising to see, hey, if you like my podcast, give that 5-star review. And I'm talking more about it in my shows also and so on. So it's very organic then. 4.8, I think, is my rating, which is not bad, close to 5. And anyway,
beautiful. Yeah. It's constant discipline. It's getting on the elliptical machine every single day. Some days you go a little bit harder because you got more energy, but every day you're still getting you're getting those strides, those steps in. And that's what you do to live a healthy and long life. And then you take that same philosophy towards your business. And if you come in with confidence in your business, if you had a rough day yesterday and you're all beat up and you bring it to today, your day is not going to be great, right? Versus, hey, that was yesterday. Today, I'm going to continue with the mission, and I'm going to continue so hard within the first hour of when I get in front of my desk. I'm going to do a day's worth of work in 1 hour. I'm going to create content. I'm going to shoot my emails. I'm going to every problem that I have to deal with. I'm going to do the first thing in the morning. I'm going to send all those emails and have those difficult conversations. And then you're like, man, that wasn't even that bad. So many times I come in and I'm like, oh, I got to call this guy and his rate went up and it wasn't my fault, but I still don't want to have that conversation. And it's, look, your credit score wasn't 800. It was actually 720. And there's a little bit of a hit. So your rate went up, but I did solve it here. Those are the conversations you have to have, but do it first thing in the morning, do all your videos, get all your content out. It's that simple. And then just move every day and then study, create new strategies like the new strategy I have to get people coming to my events. And then I'm going to build that to like where then I throw my own events live where I get, 500 people, 1,000 people, right? Eventually I'll do that.
Totally, what you're saying is so right. Yesterday should not affect today. It's ashes, it's gone. Learn from it, what went right or wrong. And you know what? We never get all the successes every single time. We don't. Failures bring successes, failures really help us to grow. That's how it is. It's just that we got to go through life as it comes and do the very best at that moment. So that's so important what you said. Again, this is Vinney and Beau show. We come live to you. We come every Friday mornings 9 a.m. We throw the episode in the social media. Like us, review and comment and share these episodes. We make also reels and other things. You will see them, and also podcasts out of it. So thank you, Beau, this morning, brother.
All right. See everybody. See you next week, guys.
See you in a bit. Okay.
So happy to be on your show.
Live every Friday. How to make your business